Curious when he began to discover weather. Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut here in the Room to Room Weather Center, and I could not be more grateful for y'all tuning in for a beautiful forecast. We're finally having one of those weekends where it's not super hot, super muggy, and just humid here in Mississippi. So these beautiful conditions have been continuing, and I appreciate y'all tuning in, especially when we could be outside enjoying it. But the cold front has been responsible for these conditions. It's something that we've definitely been enjoying every second of. And thankfully, it's been kind of lingering over North Mississippi throughout the entire day and throughout most of the weekend, to be honest. But we'll continue to move on out of North Mississippi, but we're going to keep receiving all those benefits as well. Also, sneak peek, below average never sounded so good, kind of due to that cold front, what it's doing for our atmosphere in North Mississippi, but even the southeast as a whole. So definitely something we're going to glance into here in the next few minutes, but also looking into the week ahead. So we're wrapping up the weekend, got to get ready for the work week, but making sure I track out all of that for you here at Mississippi Live Weather in the Room to Room Weather Center. But looking out here in Amory, you can see beautiful sunny skies. That sun really shining on the camera. Not many clouds in the, oh, there we go. It's like a little iridescence showing up there. I wonder what that's coming off of, but that's really cool. And there we go. It's the sun ray coming all the way out here. But look, you can see it's 90 degrees, feels like 91, just showing that humidity is still not playing a factor for our weekend, because that trend's continuing from Saturday but into our Sunday as well. That northerly, northwesterly wind still playing a major factor in that, just pumping in all this continental dry air, allowing for us to enjoy beautiful outdoor plans. You can see the same thing out here in Cleveland. 91 feels like 95, but still it's not like what it was last weekend where we're going 10 degrees of increase with that humidity. Still northerly wind, this time in double digits, 13 miles per hour. So showing a little breezy with that American flag blowing in the wind, kind of the camera shaking just a little bit too, but still no clouds in the sky, beautiful conditions. Out here in Macon, you can see some clouds. Oh, they're refreshed. Still some clouds, but no vertical development, just showing how stable our atmosphere is and showing that there's not going to be many chances of rainfall either. 91 degrees, feels like 93 with that northerly wind. But looking at temperatures across most of North Mississippi, you can see low 90s already getting into the upper 80s for it still being 6 o'clock here in North Mississippi. Beautiful conditions. Heat indices though, what I think is more important, because it's what we really feel, not taking much of a jump or difference between the two. They're pretty much taking the exact same. Still a little bit muggy out there in Greenville, but a lot more bearable than what it has been, just showcasing these beautiful conditions that we're enjoying here in North Mississippi. But looking at the next 12, you can see it's going to continue. We're starting off around 84 degrees by the time we wrap up our dinner plans and head into the evening, and then going into the mid 70s, but then upper 60s by the time we get around 1 o'clock, 4 a.m., even by the time we walk out of the door for our Monday morning commute. So I know it's Monday. I know it's also Monday morning, worst time of the week, but we're starting it off with beautiful, clear, cool conditions. I'm definitely saying cool now, because we're now in the mid to low 60s for our lows. So that's cool. But looking at Mississippi Live Weather Radar, there's nothing going on. Just nothing to analyze here, just showing how dry we are. I'll even zoom it out just a little bit just to showcase. There's nothing going on even out in Alabama right now, just showcasing how dry we are. Some showers trying to pop up out in southern Mississippi, but not much to look at here, and nothing that we're really missing either. So definitely a good sign. We can see that what's responsible for that was this cold front, still kind of over North Mississippi, and it's going to keep pushing its way through North Mississippi into the rest of Mississippi. I said Mississippi a lot there, I apologize. But you can see that continental dry air still just pushing into North Mississippi, bringing in some cloud cover, but of course that's still been very sparse here lately, but also not something we're missing and trying to get shade from the sun, because temperatures are very seasonable. Some rain chances out west, but especially out in Oklahoma with some storm systems. And you can see for Mississippi, we're staying dry. Even Birmingham, Tennessee, most of Arkansas, of course, they're going to be getting a lot of rain tomorrow, which will eventually transition into North Mississippi as well. But here's what I was talking about with being below average. This temperature outlook is amazing to see. We're in August in Mississippi, and I I've never been excited to see this dark of blue color show up on the map around us. You can see this is for August 30th to September 3rd, so still kind of towards the end of your work week. Perfect for some college football to start playing this next weekend. I know we had week 0. I don't think they say week 1 for this weekend, but beautiful conditions in store for us for our work week and into the next weekend ahead. But coming back to the next 24 hours, you can see beautiful conditions still. There is a chance of some rain showers around 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. That's those rain chances kind of coming in from Arkansas that we just saw in that Futurecast. I'll dive more into that here in the next 60 seconds, just showcasing when can we see those rain chances, who will it all affect, and just we'll be back here in 1 minute, and I can't wait to break it down for y'all.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I appreciate y'all sticking here with us. Of course, we're launching this segment off with those weather watcher pictures. This was actually sent in by my Uncle Hugs, is what we call him, out in Auburn, just showing the beautiful conditions, even out in Alabama, as they were walking the dog earlier this morning. So I know it was in the morning when they walked the dog, but honestly, you can walk your dog throughout the entirety of the day, just with how amazing these conditions are. So we really appreciate Uncle Hugs sending that in. And I'm talking about him walking his dog. I have to show a picture. Her name is Millie. She's a sweet dog. I should have asked her how old she is. I know she's getting on up there, but she's a sweet girl and definitely loved these beautiful conditions outside. So thank you for sending in those weather watcher pictures. We love seeing what y'all are doing. Like I said last night, y'all send in pictures of what y'all are doing, because there's not a lot to take pictures of the sky because there's not much going on up there. But any outdoor activities and events y'all have going on, just send them in. We appreciate y'all sending anything that y'all have going on into the Mississippi Live Weather app. But looking out at Edinburgh, you can see temperatures 88 degrees, feels like 91, and that's just a constant thing that we can see on all these cameras, that northerly wind component just pushing in that dry air. I know I've said it so much this weekend, but it's finally just good news that I'm repeating instead of those hot, humid conditions. Same thing out here in Greenwood, 93 degrees, feels like 95, only a 2-degree difference, but that northerly wind really being responsible for that. But as we look at our day planner, more of our evening planner by now, you can see 7 o'clock, 84 degrees, but we're going to start pushing into the 60s by the time we get into those AM early morning hours for our Monday. So Monday is never the best day of the week for us, but thankfully we're at least starting off with perfect conditions. You can see this with our day planner, even getting more off the map for this graphic. So something we'd love to see happening down here instead of kind of breaking it and overachieving and exceeding those triple digits. So definitely something we'd love to see. And we can track that out here on Futurecast, showing that cold front still pushing its way through North Mississippi, bringing in all that continental dry air from the north. Most of our moisture overnight will be cloud cover, but you can see most of us are seeing clear skies. The further north you go, you can see that moisture and cloud cover, also hinting at where those rain chances will be best going into your Monday and Tuesday as well. But of course, we're going to get into that in the next few minutes. You can see as we continue into Monday morning, not much going on. Some moisture really tries to build back in around 6 in the morning, so could see some partly cloudy skies as we start our Monday morning commute. But we're starting it off with perfect temperatures. I mean, seeing yellow again, it's beautiful. You can see 60s across the entire viewing area. I don't see any 70s, so we're sitting in the mid to low 60s. 60 out in Red Bay, so almost pushing upper 50s. I do think some spots further north we are in North Mississippi could get those upper 50s during the rest of our work week, but this is a beautiful way to start Monday morning. School bus, beautiful conditions continue. When they come to pick up the kids, you can see 64 degrees as you're walking out of the door, helping them get ready for their Monday morning. And then by the time we're dropping them off and they're ready to enjoy their afternoon, 84 degrees. So still, beautiful conditions continue not only for this weekend, but into our work week ahead. We can continue tracking that out here on Futurecast, showing those dry conditions, and then later in Monday into Tuesday night is where we start seeing those rain chances. You can see a lot of moisture trying to build up, and there's that rain coming in from Arkansas. Now this is around lunchtime. I think it's a little bit aggressive right now, just showing that we're going to continue to stay dry. It really can't get into Mississippi until later on in the day. You can see around dinner time, maybe affecting those out in Olive Branch and in the Memphis region. But still, for most of North Mississippi, we're staying dry. That's why we don't really have much of a rain chance for our Monday. It's kind of happens more towards that 11 o'clock midnight hour right into Tuesday where we see those elevated chances. But our highs, not really craving that rain. You can see 80s across the entire viewing area. Of course, we still have Greenville coming in at 93, but not bad. 92 in Belzona. But again, heat indices is what I was mentioning earlier, what we like to pay attention or pay more attention to. We're still sitting at where our temperatures are forecasted to be for our Monday. So just showing that it's not going to be humid or muggy, and we're sitting very pretty for our Monday. You can see current alerts. I had to put this up again because we keep seeing those orange and peaks pop up with all those advisories and warnings in place. None in the area, none in Birmingham, Tennessee, or Arkansas, at least in this region that we can see on the map, just showing that we're still staying below average with those temperatures and something we're going to soak up and enjoy every moment. But coming back to Futurecast, you can start seeing those rain chances still trying to push into the area in the evening. Now, this is where I think those rain chances are going to stay. It's pretty much north of North Mississippi. Pretty much Highway 6, north of Highway 6 is where I started seeing those rain chances, being a little more confident in. But this model really pushes those rain chances into most of North Mississippi. I'm still pretty confident on this. You can see maybe some showers and rumbles of thunder as we get up to start our Tuesday morning commute, especially out there in Olive Branch and along the Tennessee state line. But then this model kind of depicts that rain still trying to push through the entire area almost wanted to bump up the rain chance to 40%. Something I'm going to keep tracking and may happen before the 10, but still showing that rain is really trying to give us a lot of rainfall for North Mississippi as an entirety, really trying to push through. But then by the time we get into those evening hours, we're returning back to those dry, clear conditions. You can see no clouds in the sky by 1 o'clock for our Wednesday morning. Now highs, this is what we like to see. And that could be due to all that rain that's coming through. So definitely something we will welcome with open arms, just showing that we're not, most of the viewing area, not even in the 80s. We're seeing upper 70s for our forecast for our Tuesday. So 75 in Red Bay, 77 Iuka, Boonville, and Hamilton. It's just a beautiful forecast ahead, something I'm finally enjoying able to talk about instead of those hot conditions. And you can see our heat indices still sitting pretty. Some 80s showing up, but 80s for feels like values, something we will take every day here in North Mississippi until we get to the burn months. Then we can get rid of them, but I know we're enjoying them while they last. You can see we're breaking the graph again on Tuesday, going below for our Tuesday, but our highs still just kind of sitting around the mid 80s. Can't decide if they want to stay around 84 or 85, but beautiful forecast for the next 7 days ahead. But going to the tropics where rain chances are definitely going on out there, you can see the disturbance has changed again. It went, I believe it was 30% yesterday during the 6, 40% during the 10 o'clock show. Now we're back to 30. So showing that we're not as confident as the National Hurricane Center issuing these. And if it were to continue trying to form, it would try to push into the Gulf where we do have a lot of hot sea surface temperatures, but something that we're going to continue monitoring. That's just disturbance 1 out there. What is actually out there is, I'm going to have to click it again. There we go. Fernand, Tropical Storm Fernand. It formed yesterday, I believe, into a tropical storm status. And it's kind of basically mirror Aaron's path, kind of almost following it, the exact same path, just continuing that northerly trend, just avoiding, that's the right word, the United States. So we love to see it, especially for hurricane season. I know those are some stressful months for us, but for any storms that form out in the tropics and just miss us completely, that is a win, 100%. But coming back to North Mississippi, you can see those rain chances Tuesday. I might bump those up to 40 potentially, but still not as confident on it affecting all of us here in North Mississippi. I really think it's just the northern portions of us, pretty much north of Highway 6. But those temperatures that we can count on. You can see upper 70s for our Tuesday high temperatures, and then we're just sitting in the mid 80s for the rest of the week. We do have some heightened rain chances for our Thursday, and then definitely for our Sunday as well. So still beautiful conditions in store. And then there we go. Maybe we can have some cool conditions and finally a rainy, lazy Sunday. So definitely something I'm going to continue tracking and we'll be excited to talk about for next weekend's forecast. But we're going to enjoy the weather for right now. And of course, you can enjoy the weather and know what's coming with the Mississippi Live weather app. We appreciate all the support and downloads that y'all have given us. It has been really amazing to watch and see this all unfold. So it has all these graphics most of these graphics that I'm using, and you can just look at the wet bulb globe temperature, but thankfully we're not really wanting to look at that much for this week. So definitely enjoy all of y'all out there supporting us. Our broadcast schedule will still be 6 and 10 tonight because it's still the weekend. We got to wrap it up, but then they will transition into 5, 6, and 10 starting Monday through your Friday once the work week starts. So I know Matt and Gabe are ready to be back, excited to hang out with y'all during y'all's work week. But for now, enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday evening, and I will be back here live tonight at 10.
Absolute Restoration, our team will feel magical since our focus is on serving you and your roofing needs. Finding a roofer who actually shows up and communicates, that's just one of the problems we solve by informing you of every step in the process.
Selling premium roofing systems backed by warranties and payment plans starting at just $99 per month. Trust Absolute Restoration to deliver.
Experience unicorn-level service and affordability from a team your community trusts. Call Absolute Restoration today.